Being a full-time caregiver is hard. Being a full-time caregiver of an aging parent with dementia is even harder. Now, I don't say this because I myself am a caregiver. I am not. I say this because I work with many people who are, and who are caregivers for their aging parents, where either or both has some form of dementia, be it Alzheimer's, Lewy body, dementia. And one of the things that comes up rather regularly is, how do I care for my father? Let's say it could be a mother or father, but in this case, I'll use the example of a father because it came up most recently. How do I care for my father who has dementia when he was so mean and nasty and controlling as a child when I was growing up? Now, fast forward now, this person is likely in their 50s, 60s, with a father who's late 80s. And so we began to talk about that because dementia manifests. It can manifest in ways where you think, is this personal? He's just being his stubborn self. He never listened. He's becoming agitated and angry, and it's reminding me of when, that's hard. I want to pause and just extend some compassion to caregivers who are doing the best they can to navigate the terrain of being a caregiver for a parent or parents who have dementia, as it evokes all of these memories and these unresolved traumas from childhood. You want to be compassionate, you want to be present, you want to have patience, you want to be understanding, and there's conflict there because it's like, I just don't get it. Why won't he just listen to me? Why can't she just do the thing that I said to do? And so a big part of what I do when working with caregivers in this manner is get to know who they are and what their needs are. Because a lot of times, first of all, there is no fix, right, for dementia. When the question is, how can you help me? I can bear you witness. I can give you a generous ear. I can help to rightly guide you in these moments, help you practice something different. But there is no fix. The best fix, if we're thinking about a fix, is money, to hire care in order to give yourself respite and reprieve, to return to yourself. But if there isn't sufficient access to money, then I get to know them. Because once again, a lot of times the conflict rests in unresolved dynamics between parent and child. How can I be so present and generous and loving and warm and tender toward you as I care for you because you have dementia, when the slightest thing reminds me of how abusive you were toward me when I was a child, or how neglectful you were, the things you said, how diminishing you were. So I get to know them to give them room and space to begin healing. And healing isn't about change. We cannot go back to childhood and change. the behaviors of another. However, we can slowly begin to practice healing the pain from the past. And that requires acknowledging it. And often these particular caregivers, they've just moved on in life. They've pushed it down. They've distracted themselves. They've, run away from the hauntings. And so I help them to run less, walk more, until you can stroll into becoming more familiar with who you really are and not who you became as a result of all of the shortcomings and abusive behavior of your parent or parents. And when there's enough space and there's a beginning level understanding as to why it was never personal and today isn't personal either. Because people only pass down their level of consciousness, their experiences, their own traumas. And that's not personal. Because we weren't a part of their traumas. When we slowly begin to understand that, we create more and more space in the moment to react less to what seems like familiar behavior and respond more. And if we cannot respond in this moment, then we give ourselves a pause. We recognize we cannot control all things. We are not responsible for being perfect. We cannot navigate the fullness of any person's safety, including our own. Things are beyond our control. You're driving down the street, car hits you. You can't control it. That we have to be gentle with ourselves and give ourselves what we need in order to be withstanding for these difficult moments, being a caregiver for a parent or parents who have dementia. Otherwise, we are a ticking time bomb because the nature of dementia is such that even the most skilled person, the most compassionate person, the most patient person will reach a point where it feels like it's just too much. How do we not get close to too much? What are some ways that you, if you are a caregiver, where any of this sounds even remotely familiar, what are some ways that you navigate yourself in terms of giving yourself what you need in order to show up every day? And is it something that you even consider? So many people just keep going and going, and they say, I don't have time. I'm not getting any sleep. There's always something, and all of that is real, except we have to give ourselves time. We don't get time. We don't have time, but we give ourselves time, and that's called a boundary. Even if it's 3 hours a day, an hour in the morning, an hour in the afternoon, an hour in the evening. Now, someone may say, well, yeah, you're just saying that, but you're not in my reality. Well, here's a reality to know. That if you do not give yourself time, you will not be sustained. And what happens if your health takes a dive? Or what if you have an adult child and now there's another crisis to attend to? We often find that we do have more time, more space when something else important happens. It's like, wow, how are you doing all of that? I don't know. I just keep doing it. But when it comes to consciously allocating time for ourselves, we don't have time. So on today, speaking to the caregivers out there, I want to say you are not alone. You really aren't. And there is no perfect path, no template as to how to navigate the terrain of aging parents with dementia or any of those really tough compromises. There is no template. You show up and you do the best that you can. I want to encourage you to show up first for yourself. Fill your tank so that you're not operating from fumes, running on E. Because running on empty, if you start your day running on empty, what do you think is going to happen as you move through the next 24 hours as a caregiver of someone with dementia? Stress, anxiety, overwhelm, impatient, agitation. There's nothing positive or withstanding or sustaining in that. So I want to encourage you to wake up before you step out of that bed or off the couch or the chair, wherever you are, the floor. Pause, set a tone for your day. Close your eyes, take some deep breaths, set some intentions for the day, because in the next 5 minutes, the crap might hit the fan. So if you wake up and start running and you're already stressed because you feel behind because life is overwhelming, and then the crap hits the fan, and it's not even 8 a.m. yet. So I want to encourage you to pause, take some breaths, mentally become a warm blanket for yourself, mentally become a comfort for yourself. Love yourself into care. And after those breaths, and when you feel centered enough, step forward into your day. And in moments when you find yourself becoming anything other than how you want to be, pause, because that's your body, that's your mind, your thoughts telling you something. Don't ignore them. Pause. Take some breaths, walk away if you're able, whatever it is. Just don't hop on the train of agitation and become more agitated. Do something that creates some breathing space. And this might be something you need to do many, many times throughout the day, along with lowering your expectations. It is likely not personal. This is a part of the disease, a part of the progression, a part of why everyone says they would not want dementia. They wouldn't wish it on their worst enemy. Knowing that we extend ourselves some grace and we access compassion and patience. And we recognize that one day we might snap. We might say something out of anger and frustration. And you know what? We forgive ourselves. We recognize that we're only human. We know that it's a lot and that we hit the mark more than we don't. And that alone is a beautiful thing, that we continue to wake up every day and try. So again, today, when we give thought to the many layers of being a caregiver for a parent with dementia, may we give thought to what it takes to sustain ourselves so that the way of that terrain has fewer trips and falls and potholes and dips and slides and ER visits. I want to extend to you, the caregivers, a big old hug. You have a doozy of a job, of a responsibility. May you be held, sustained, and carried, and may you have all that you need in every moment that you need it to provide care and presence, first to yourself and then to the one you provide care for. May it be so.